After a lengthy process, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have finally reached a divorce settlement. According to the agreement, Kim will receive $200,000 a month in child support from West, and the two will share joint custody of their 4 children. Now, of course, as soon as the news was announced, it was met with some criticism from those online. D.L. Hughley, who is known for not holding his tongue when it comes to issues like this, posted online and captioned, "When your life imitates your art, yikes. If you ain't no punk, holla, we want prenup. We want prenup, yeah. It's something that you need to have, because when she leave yo, she gonna leave with half." Although Kanye and Kim's settlement is a unique one, it brings up the question, should child support be based on what a child needs or a parent's income? Before we get to today's topic, I have to mention Georgia voters turned up and turned out at the polls for the midterm elections. But you have to do it one more time for the runoff election for U.S. Senate. Early voting has already started, so you can vote today or on Election Day on Tuesday, December the 6th. If you need a ride to the polls, call the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda at 877-524-8683. Today we have our company hype analysts, Yamanika Saunders and Pierre, calling to the show to give their thoughts and reactions. I wanted to hop right into this one. I know this is a conversation we had a few times, but now we're starting to see the outcome of this settlement. Pierre, I'm going to kick it off with you. What was your reaction when you learned that Kanye West has to pay $200,000 to Kim Kardashian a month for child support?
I was thinking about that's some of my money going for them Yeezys, okay? I'm okay with them expensive ass Yeezys I bought. I mean, wow, that's 200,000 racks is a lot. I don't know how it's going to enhance the child's lives when she's a billionaire, with what she's worth. So I don't know how that money is going to enhance. But if it is a legal process that you have to pay child support, if you have a child with a woman and you have to pay child support, then it is what it is. I mean, he was a billionaire, like what, 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, if the court still, I don't know if they're judging him from his past or right today. If he's right today, and he's paying $200,000 a month, then that boy got racks on racks on racks. He got it.
Absolutely. Yamanika, let me bring you in and get your thoughts. When you saw the news break that Kanye West has to pay $200,000 to Kim Kardashian a month, what was your reaction to it?
It was the first time that I ever wanted to come through the vagina of Kim Kardashian.
Hey, damn.
Okay. Again, it's what's shocking to me is the double standard, and I don't even care if the brothers get mad. Every time this gold digging this and gold digging that, when it comes to Black women, we don't know how to support a man. We gold diggers, we out for this, and they be ran through the carpet and through the mud by more women of non-color than anybody else. I mean, I don't ever see these situations when they married to Black women and get divorced, right? And as soon as they marry a woman who's not Black, the money cha-ching here, cha-ching there. Y'all need to get together and regroup and figure out your brand, because you're saying one thing and then you're doing another. And just for clarification, a prenup and child support are 2 different things. So we don't know if they don't have a prenup. They could have a prenup, but that has nothing to do with the children and what the children's needs are.
Now, speaking of saying one thing and doing another, DL would quote, Kanye's lyrics against what's happening to him right now. It was very difficult for me to say it and not rap it. It's a song that a lot of people do know. Hey, if you ain't no punk, holla, we want prenup. It's something that you need to have, because when she leave you, she gonna leave with half. And now, here we are finding Kanye West in this position. Pierre, let me come to you. Hearing that from D.L. Hughley, what are your thoughts of his reaction?
I mean, in this case, art, what you call it, resembles life. But a lot of times people rap about stuff they don't really mean and really feel, just talking out. This was years ago. So did he know that he's going to be in a situation now? Yeah, I mean, it's coming to bite him in the ass. But there's a lot of people talk a lot of stuff in their raps or songs that don't really mean that. They're just talking. It's an expression of acting or rapping or however you say. But it's biting him in the ass, and I'm not here to find no enjoyment. Like, yeah, you got to pay now. I mean, come on, that's not my spirit. To be happy about a man that has to pay $200,000 a month, and if it's hurting him, it's bad. If it's not hurting him, okay, it's no big deal. But I'm not here to find enjoyment that he rapped about a prenup and now he has to pay money. Where's the joy at? My spirit ain't there. So.
Yamanika, let me get your reaction. Seeing, we've heard DL throughout this entire process. Here he is, of course, commenting on this. What are your thoughts of DL's reaction to this?
Well, first of all, Kanye West said Jesus walked with him, and I don't think Jesus walked with that nigga since 2005. So, it's a lot of things being said here and a lot of things being said there. Let me just say this. I love how DL is just on the pulse of everything. Good for him. Make a comment about everything. Keep yourself relevant. Keep yourself in the news. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, in terms of the money, she doesn't need that kind of money, right? We talk about fair is fair. And we talk about when we go into litigation and things happen, what does a woman who's worth $1 billion and he's not need $200,000 a month? Now, she also has Kanye's children. So is that worth $200,000 to deal with people that you probably gonna have to have in and out of therapy because they daddy Kanye? Definitely be doing some psychiatric evaluations every month, every day. Damn. Keeping them on fucked up Yeezys. You know what I mean? Like to live that lifestyle, to be the child of Kanye West, is probably more than $200,000 a month. It might be $1 million or so a month. You know, constantly trying to figure out how you're gonna go to the moon. You know, this is lifestyle.
Let me ask you something, Yamnika. Well, one, I do want to bring up, so Kim is worth $1.8 billion as of this year. So I can agree with you. I don't know how much $200 a month is, you know, what that's going to do, being that her worth is $1.8 billion. But Yamnika, let me ask you, because there's so many layers here, right? When it comes to child support in Black men, you know, I think people can say like celebrity plays a role into this. You know, there are so many things, but do you think when it comes to when we're looking at child support as a whole, that it's just completely unfair, or seems to be unfair to Black men? Now, I want to set the disclaimer. There are some men that just don't take care of their kids. But in this situation, he has joint custody. We have seen him with his kids, take out all the bullcrap that Kanye West does. Does it just seem like it seems to be unfair towards Black men, Yamanika?
You know, you about to open up a bag of worms with me over here. You know what I'm saying? Because no, if I go left, they're going to go, the bitch went left. And then if I go right, they're going to say the bitch went right. I mean, listen, there's nothing in totality in my world. You understand? I'm not going to ever say that Black men are outright irresponsible, bad fathers who leave their children abandoned and don't want to pay child support. What I will say is this is a very serious issue on both ends, because as much as we do have probably Black men who feel like they have been run up the polls when it comes to child support, we have to also acknowledge how many women have lost their lives to the fear of men feeling like they're going to have to pay child support, which is a very serious problem for Black women, because a lot of Black women have lost their lives because of that. And that's evidence all over the news. This is not a call Tyrone situation. This is Kanye West. And I think what would benefit some of these brothers who I don't want to call marginal, subpar, or regular, but what I will say is probably can't afford Yeezys, is instead of worrying about the plight of Kanye West, who doesn't have your best intent in mind, even though you think he does, I think you guys should be more concerned about what happens in your day-to-day life, and if you have to pay child support, because the system is vastly going to be different for Kanye West, even with all of the problems that he has now, than a regular, everyday Black man trying to go against the system.
Pierre, let me ask that same question to you. You know, in this situation, it seems unfair, right? We know how much Kim is worth. Excuse me. We've seen Kanye West take care of his kids. We've seen him with his kids. We've seen him show up to these events. Do you think, when it comes to child support, that it seems to be unfair for the Black man?
Well, let's say we're talking about Kanye first, and when someone says it seems unfair, that's broke people talking about that. And I'm just being real. I want to pay a Yeezys $500 Yeezys. Now you might say, "Nigga, you crazy? I can afford $500 Yeezys, nigga. Ain't no problem. My bank account didn't change, nigga. So, but if you ain't making but $6 an hour, $10 an hour, that's kicking you in the ass. So it's a different situation. This man's worth for the legit, but 20 years for them children, anyway, 20 years. But let's say for the next 16 years of them kids, that might be about $18 million to Kanye for the next 16 years, whatever it is. 18 million for a guy who's a billionaire. Oh, let's just say he ain't a billionaire if you want to cry that right now. But whatever the situation is, 18 million is not a lot of money for him. It's a lot of money for your ass, because you ain't got $1,800 in your account. So you screaming, that's terrible, that's terrible. It all depends on what kind of money you're making. If you make, he bought a car that's worth $1.5 million. You didn't scream at that. You ain't say, God damn, because he had that money. It ain't nothing for him. You might say, man, I would never buy a car for $1.5 million. Yes, because you're making $16 an hour and breaking your back. I don't blame you for not thinking you ain't gonna get a $1.5 million car. So it doesn't matter. So with him, he makes that money. $200,000 probably is nothing to him. Remember, we're talking about $16, $17 million for the life of those children. You think he ain't got $16 million? As rich as he is?
I don't know if he got $16 million. The way he running his mouth, he might not have $16 an hour in a few days.
Well, we don't know that. Well, the judge said he do. Okay, somebody says some paperwork said we can sit here all day long. You know what I'm saying? In our spot saying, hey, that's wrong. So now back to the black man. I paid child support 3 times, you know, and I paid it every month. You know, I paid what it is, came out of my account and stuff like that. Didn't cry about it. It is what it is. So is it because I'm half black man, so that's why I feel I ain't crying and shit. But I took my responsibility. I did what it was what it was. You know, I paid for my children, and it is what it is. So is it unfair to the black man? I don't know what unfairness was. I don't know what that means, unfairness to the black man. Do white people don't pay child support? Is that what we're saying here? So I don't know. I paid.
All right, so let me ask this. I'm going to open the floor up to our studio audience, but before doing so, Yamanika, let me come back to you. When it comes to child support, you know, as I mentioned earlier, it brings up the question. We've seen a lot of people online talking about this, so I want to ask this question to you all. Yamanika, do you think child support should be based on what a child needs or a parent's income?
I mean, I think I've talked about this before on the platform. I think when we talk about children who are celebrities or children who are, you know, have parents who are in the limelight, there's a certain level of protection that these children will need. Listen, we have to understand that jealousy is a very real thing. Look at the Shaquella Robinson situation where it seems to be riddled with jealousy and access to the wrong people. So I think security for these children, which is going to cost, is definitely important. Also, why shouldn't they have the same lifestyle as their parent? I do believe in that. That's something that I would do. That's why I would say it, right? If I had a certain lifestyle, we want to make sure that my child maintained it, whether I had custody of my child or not. However, I think the bigger question we should be asking, and again, this goes back to how Black women are represented, right, as gold diggers and want money and always got their foot on a Black man back and don't know how to beat his piece. Why didn't Kim Kardashian say, you know what, I'm good. I don't need $200,000 a month. I can take care of these children. Or, you know what, I would like for him to contribute, but we don't need $200,000 a month from him. You know, we can get this. Their needs are set. So it goes back on her. And these are the ways in which Black women will be questioned if we were getting that amount of money, and the kind of conversation that will be swirling around us. Ask Kim Kardashian why she's taking $200,000 a month from a man who was a billionaire 2 weeks ago, almost has nothing now, and trying to rebuild so hard that he has aligned himself with the white supremacists and has asked Donald Trump to run with him as vice president.
Man, I heard that question. I definitely hope someone asks, because I think it's a great question. Let me ask you this same question, Pierre. You know, when it comes to child support, what do you think? Do you think child support should be based on a child's needs or a parent's income?
I love my sister Yamanik, but him personally, what he does outside of his being a father has nothing to do with him paying child support. I don't care if he's Black supremacist, white supremacist, loves Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with taking care of your child. Nothing to do with it. It is what it is. Now, I remember when I came to California, there was a billionaire who got divorced from his wife, a young wife, and she said she needed $300,000 a month. And the judge said, for what? She said, for his lifestyle, for the child's like 4 years old. She said, what do you mean? He said, well, for clothes, he needs, $94,000 or like $45,000 a month for clothes, for pony rides, birthdays, jets, all this kind of stuff. And the judge said, I'm going to tell you what, if I give you this $300,000 a month, you better come up with receipts every month that show that you pay for that. And she said, hold on, because she would be wore the fuck out trying to keep saying what they need. So to say what a child needs, well, what are we going to push up? I mean, he needs to have a new pair of Jordans every day. I'm being facetious, but you get what I'm saying. He needs to go this place. He needs to go this. He needs to do that. He needs to do that. Okay, well, make sure he does that if you get that money. To me, I think, it's ugly. Child sports always can get very ugly because you get emotional people together, and one people might feel they're being wrong versus the other. It's whatever. What a child needs. I mean, what's the guideline of need? What's the guideline of need? You know what I'm saying? They need to be fed, housed well, clothes, but do they need a pair of Jordans? A $60 Jordan when they're 4 years old? They need that shoe. They don't need it. That's what the parent wants them to have. Other parent wants them to have. So it's a very dicey situation. And then it comes up somebody's income. Well, if the mother's only making $1,000 a month, you know what I'm saying? Do we sit there now and say, well, she only needs $200, for the child? No, so I think whatever the man's income is, whoever got to pay the child support, it should be gauged on that. That's how it was gauged for me. So, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to open up the floor to our studio audience. With us, we have a motivational speaker right here out of Atlanta, Georgia, Jay. So I want to give it up for our studio audience member. Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to you. What's your question?
Okay, so my question is that a lot of people believe in the power of tongue and like you speak your life into existence. So do you think that the songs that he made and the lyrics that he had, like especially beginning in his career, possibly created the lifestyle that he has now, or like the life that he's living now?
I mean, you know, when we say so boldly, we get prenups, or whatever it is he was singing about prenups, then he should have done that. You know, I think this is a bigger lesson to people who absorb this music, especially the younger generation, as they absorb music of people who may not be actually singing about things that they actually live, but expect you to live. You know, he should have been protecting his assets. He knew he was a man, especially with the ego that he has, that he thought he was going to be a genius and make all this money. He should have been signing a prenup in every situation. He should be protecting his assets. He should have money already confirmed. If he was telling everybody he was a billionaire, he should have had $1 billion in the bank. None of the things that he said he's had or does has he done.
Well, yeah, do you really want me on the show? You want me on the show for real?
Yes.
All right. Well, a lot of times artists talk about stuff that they don't really do or have. You know what I'm saying? I used to make a joke about having a small penis. You know, it is what it is. A joke, So, but we joke about stuff like that. You know, we just joke. You know, I told you want me on the show, you don't want me on the show. Okay. But artists do that all the time. Kanye got into a level to where he could do whatever he wanted to. And he started shifting his life to anything. And, you know, he started being a spoiled brat, buying what he wanted to. So it started maturating into a lifestyle that he had talked about earlier on. And some of the stuff wasn't true. Some of the stuff is true. But as you get older, you get $1 billion. You can say whatever you want to. Whatever you did in the past, I'm going to fly Lear jets. Well, you can fly Lear jets when you're a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Or I can own a fleet of this, Rolls Royce. While you rapping, you ain't got that. Or I'm act like I'm living like that. But when you get a certain amount of money, you can live like that. So, but a lot of times artists start off talking stuff that they really didn't do or have. And it just, unfortunately, this one bit them in the ass.
Now, before you head out, thank you so much for asking that question. Of course, we love to know, how can people keep up with you?
Yeah. Okay. So I do have an Instagram right now called Big Letter J. So you can definitely find me on there. But I will also be putting out a website in the next few days called A Cup of J. So, and that's acupofj.com. So you definitely can find me on there. And my topics are mostly about life, like how you can live your life like a better way, how you can start speaking more positivity over yourself rather than like, you know, putting yourself in situations where you shouldn't be in, you know. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we love it. Kanye West may give you a call. So thank you so much.
He need to give her a call. He need a big ass cup of J too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I might need $20,000, you know.
Now, I want to bring up one more studio audience. This is Ogechi. She's a rapper and singer here in Atlanta, Georgia. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, a round of applause. Thank you for joining us, and please ask us your question.
So it's somewhat of a two-part question. Do you believe that Kim did it more so out of spite than needing the money? And also, why I think it's done out of spite is because if she is worth $1.8 billion and Kanye is now reportedly worth somewhere around like $300 to $400 million, shouldn't he be the one receiving child support if they share joint custody?
Well, one thing is being worth 1.8 billion or whatever when they say you're worth that doesn't mean you have that liquid cash. First of all, it could be your business is worth all that kind of stuff, but I mean you have that in the bank. Now, I don't know where the 300 million you said Kanye has. I'm not saying he doesn't. I don't know what Kanye has, but like I told you, at the end of the day, it's $16 million probably he has to pay for the life of the children if he stays at $200,000 a month. 16 million out of 300 million. Is it killing them? What are we looking here for? Out of spite? Did she do it out of spite? I don't know her. We don't know her. I mean, she'd have a good reason to. Some of the stuff that he did and put her through, and let's be real. I mean, some of the stuff he said and done, and she seemed to take the high road normally from what I saw. But I forget this is a black, this is a black platform, so that and upraise the black brother. Well, that's what it is. That's what's gonna be in there. The black man is a peaceful, beautiful man that once said, slavery was a choice, but we forgot about all that. But we're back to loving him again. So it's this week, it's Love Kanye West week. And next week it'll be We Hate Him again. Black people, we don't know what we're gonna do this week and next week.
I just want to just revel in the moment that we just had with Pierre. It was fantastic. It's true. I love my people to death, but we never know where we standing on what. Here's the thing, right? And I don't know if the audience can see it, but I was saying this young lady has a lovely pair of pants. I wish I could rock it, but I got these thunder thighs, and I definitely would chew up the left and the right side. But I love those pants so much. And it's, here's the thing, we don't know the terms of the agreement, right? So who's to say that there's not an assessment made of both incomes, and this is the split of, obviously we won't see whatever she's contributing because she doesn't have to pay herself. It's just whatever she's contributing. And then this is how much he has to contribute to the overall expenses of the children. That could include their schooling, trips and things that I think generally what they do is whatever the lifestyle was before with the children and what they used to in the monthly expenses, then you multiply that by 5 children that they have, then that's probably how you come up with the $200,000. Do I think she did out of spite? I think that the question, I don't know her personally. It's easy to always say something about Kim Kardashian because she's an easy target, but I don't know if she did it out of spite. My question is, why didn't she say, I don't need anything from him? Which she would have probably been expected to say if she was a Black woman. I don't need nothing. I can take care of these kids. This is what I bring to the table. Like all these things that Black women are expected to do. It is not asked of other women when these Black men get with women who are not Black, and then they have a double standard for that. That's where I'm going to stand on, and that's where I stand heavy. And I don't give a damn what nigga get upset about it. You want to get upset about shit like this, but y'all constantly do the same thing over and damn over again. Get your shit together. Okay? So that's my thing to that. And I hope when you rap and the things you talk about, we can glean to that. But normally most female rappers, when we rapping anyway, we be telling the truth because all we can do is tell the damn truth. And I'll support whatever you got going on and that young lady, because Black women, we got to get our shit together and worry about ourselves, because we ain't going to get no situation like that in no damn prenup situation.
Let me ask you a question, Yamini. Can I ask 2 questions? One is, do you think that if it was a Black woman, I'm trying to get, we wouldn't be mad, or we would be mad if she wanted that kind of money? Because we're mad now that Kim is wanting that kind of money. People are upset that Kim wants that money. So what do you say? If it was a Black woman, we'd do what now? Just so I understand.
No, men are mad because money has to be paid at all. What I'm saying is the conversation from Black men, not all, but a good portion of Black men is, she wasn't shooting with me in the court. You better get a prenup. All these conversations that are being had, and we know that they talk about that when it comes to Black women being gold diggers. What do we contribute? What do we bring to the table? And then you see these same men who have these conversations marry women who are not Black, and then it's mum's the word. It's mum's the word. You don't hear nothing from Kanye talking about he's so upset about paying that $200,000. Y'all mad about him paying that $200,000.
Right.
If he was gonna be upset about it, then his ass should have got a damn prenup like he was bragging about. But I guarantee you this, he didn't think he needed a prenup with Kim Kardashian. The rest of these niggas don't think they need a prenup, and they need this and they need this by these women that they hold up against Black women and say, you not as good as that because you ain't nothing but a gold digging rat. And how many times have you seen Black women run a Black man through the damn court system and get $200,000 and $1 million? You don't see Denzel going through that, nor do you see Samuel Jackson going through that. They got Black women standing by their side.
But they're not going through a divorce. They ain't got a little
Exactly,
kid.
but they also have Black women standing by their side. Black women who've supported their careers while also being dynamic women who have taken the back seat to propel their men's careers. So let's not act like we don't have examples of that when it comes to Black being supportive.
So Kim Kardashian didn't support his career? She wasn't behind his back helping him out?
How much time do we have? We watched Kim Kardashian distance herself from him and his shenanigans even before they got divorced. We've seen the side eyes from her. We've seen her look stunned when he had something crazy to say, and she was like a deer in headlights because she realized she married a moron.
The audience actually wanted to add to that. Go ahead.
yeah, Kanye helped Kim and the Kardashian family immensely. He's the reason why they're in fashion, period, and got to expand their wealth in a more legitimate way away from all the controversy of the past. It was Kanye who brought them up into the black world, and that's kind of like a repetitive thing, kind of in their family.
It's sister, let me tell you something. Their entire career has been built off of black men in a way that black women would never be able to build off of. You understand? She got famous for having sex with Ray J. The biggest hit Ray J got is One Wish, and I think he wished he had more hits. But Kim Kardashian has a great show on television, right? People are following her. Barbara Walters went on record to ask the entire family, what is it about you guys? Because you virtually have no talent. They've had stores, they've been all around the world, they've got money. They also come from money, but let's just be very clear. Their entire career has been built off of the backs of black men. So when we have a conversation about why black men love to have a conversation about how fugazi black women are and how much we don't bring to the table and how much we don't contribute and how much we just trying to tear them down and we don't support them, we have to also look at these other women from other cultures who their own men won't let them do shit like that, but they see an easy mark over here with the black community and go, oh, I can go over here and make money off the backs of black men, something that black women will never be able to do.
Does your does your boyfriend feel the same way about?
I knew you was gonna go there.
Let me go ahead and wrap up. I want to thank our studio audience for joining us today. Of course, before we head out, we'd love to know how people can follow you and keep up with your work.
Yeah, you can follow me as on Instagram, CEO_OG. My name's Ogechi. I'm a rapper, singer. I have a mixtape out called Divine Timing. It's a play off my name because it means God's time. And yeah.
Absolutely. I love that we have, a live studio audience to be able to add to this conversation, expand a little bit. So I thank both of you for adding in on that. Now, of course, before we head out, I'd like to know what you have coming up and how people can follow you. Monique, I'm going to kick it off with you. What do you have coming up and how can people follow you?
Yes, I'm opening a new school called the Big Bertha Academy. All you need is 2 cats and to be post-wall when you come into the thing. Now, I'm not going to waste. I had an amazing time at Magooby's. Thank you to everybody who came out. This week is a slow week for me. So let me just say this. Some of the conversation that I added in there, I want people to know it seemed like I was going off the rails and off the tracks. All those conversations are important when we have topics like this, because this really comes back to, if we're going to complain about things in our community, let's start repairing the parts of our community that are also broken in these topics. So I thank you guys for allowing me to speak on that. You can follow me at Yamanika at everything. I hope you go follow those 2 young women that ask such beautiful questions. They are the future and very talented and positive. Let's start putting our resources and our spirits into people who are promoting positivity. And of course, I have to give a shout out to Pierre, who today looks so good. I may have to find him to see if I can get me a little something, because I need some child support payments, because them light skin checks is the best, honey.
Really.
The light skin checks is the best.
Really.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a baby from you, Pierre, and you're gonna pay us, because the food budget for our child is gonna be crazy.
Hell no. I will sign a prenup.
Well, Pierre, let me kick it over to you. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
You can follow me at Comic Pierre on all social media platforms. If you're in Washington, D.C., December 11th, I'll be headlining the City Winery. And what else are we doing? This week I'm in Los Angeles, lovely Los Angeles, doing some episodes for season 3 of my podcast, Pierre's Panic Room. I got some tremendous guests. Some people came through. I'm really surprised. Not really surprised, they're friends of mine. So I appreciate them. So we got great taping coming. And that's really the size of it, man. And continue to support. I want to thank the people who watched my Michael special. I told you I was funny, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you might not like my attitude at times on here, but I'm funny. At the end of the day, it's funny, it's hilarious. For those who do like me on here and support me, I appreciate it so much. It's called Half the Truth. You can catch it on hypeplustv.com. Check it out and leave it in the comment. Let me know. If I ain't funny, you let me know. But keep it real now.
Well, again, I thank you both for chiming in on this topic. As always, I appreciate you, Yamanika. I appreciate you, Pierre. You guys not only bring the facts, but y'all bring the funny as well. So thank you for always making this a good time for me. Now, as for the audience, you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts of DL's reaction to Kanye having to pay $200,000 in child support? And before we head out, do not forget the runoff for election for the U.S. Senate is now. Early voting has already started. You can vote today or on Election Day on Tuesday, December the 6th. If you're in Georgia and you need a ride to the polls, call the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda at 877-524-8683. Once again, that is 877-524-8683. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in the comments.
Put him away, Pierre. Put him away. Big fan of the Comedy Hype News Show? Well, now you can join us live in studio for lunch at Comedy Hype. Click the link down below in our description or go to our Instagram page and click the link in our bio for your chance to RSVP. I hope to see you here for Comedy Hype News. I'm Symphony Thompson.
Crazy how some people misjudge me. Think they know who I am more than I know who I am. Most of my life, when people see me, they always think, is he one of us or one of them? What does that mean, one of us or one of them? Am I us or am I them? Even though I've proven who I am many times to people, I guess I gotta do it again. Oh, I'm gonna do it again. Trust me. And I'm here to deliver the truth. And one thing about the truth, they can't deny it if it's yours.